Okay, settle in, grab a cup of coffee or tea, because we're going to have a real heart-to-heart today. We're talking about something big, something that a lot of folks dream about as they head into those golden years, buying a house in retirement. It sounds lovely, doesn't it? A fresh start, maybe a place in a warmer climate, or a cozy little cottage closer to the grandkids. And for many, it absolutely can be a wonderful move. But, and this is a big but, it's a decision that's absolutely packed with things you need to think through. It's not like buying a house when you're younger, with decades of earning potential ahead of you. This is different. This is about making sure your home enhances your retirement, not complicates it. So, the title says it all, don't buy a house in retirement until you know this. And what is this? Well, it's not just one thing. It's a whole tapestry of considerations, a landscape of potential joys and, yes, potential pitfalls. We're going to walk through this landscape together, not with a rigid map of do's and don'ts, but more like a friendly chat, exploring the terrain so you can make the best possible decision for you. Let's first acknowledge the dream. For many, retirement is a chance to finally get that dream home. Maybe you've spent years in a house that was perfect for raising a family, but now it feels too big, too full of memories that are wonderful but also tied to a different phase of life. Or perhaps you've always yearned for a view of the ocean, the mountains, or just a quiet street in a friendly town. The idea of a new home can symbolize a new beginning, a reward for a lifetime of hard work. It's a powerful pull, and I totally get it. But dreams, as beautiful as they are, need to be grounded in reality, especially when it comes to something as significant as your home in retirement. This isn't about squashing dreams, it's about making sure those dreams can truly flourish without creating unintended stress or financial strain. One of the very first things we need to talk about, and it's a big one, is the whole money side of things. Now, I know we're trying to avoid a ton of numbers, so let's think about this in terms of your overall financial well-being, your peace of mind. When you're retired, your income stream usually changes. It's often fixed, or at least less flexible than when you were working full-time. That nest egg you've carefully built. It needs to last, potentially for a very long time. So, when you think about buying a house, it's not just the purchase price. Oh no, that's just the entry ticket. It's all the other things that come with homeownership. Property taxes, they can be a pretty hefty chunk of change, and they rarely go down. Homeowners insurance, another essential, and its cost can vary wildly depending on where you live and the kind of risks your area faces, like hurricanes or floods. And then there's maintenance. Maintenance. Even a brand new house will need upkeep. Older houses? They can be like a needy friend, always asking for something. A new roof, a furnace that decides to quit in the middle of winter, a plumbing surprise, these things happen. When you're working, you might absorb these costs more easily. In retirement, an unexpected major repair can feel like a real punch to the gut, potentially forcing you to dip into savings you'd earmarked for other things, travel, hobbies, or just comfortable daily living. Think about the cash you might use to buy the house. If you're paying cash, that's a significant amount of money that's no longer liquid. It's tied up in bricks and mortar. Now, home equity is great, but it's not like having cash in the bank that you can easily access for an emergency or a sudden opportunity. If you're taking out a mortgage, even a small one, that's a monthly payment you'll have for years to come, eating into your retirement income. Is that a commitment you're comfortable with, knowing your income is likely to be more stable, or even decrease in purchasing power over time due to inflation? It's about understanding the total cost of ownership, not just the sticker price. It's about asking yourself, honestly, how will these ongoing, and sometimes unpredictable, expenses fit into my retirement budget? Will they cause me to skimp on things that bring me joy, or worse, cause real financial anxiety? This isn't to say you can't afford it, but it's crucial to go in with your eyes wide open to the full financial picture. Imagine the feeling of being house rich but cash poor in retirement. That's not the freedom most people envision. Let's shift gears a bit and talk about lifestyle. This is just as important as the money, maybe even more so for some. Your retirement lifestyle is what you've been working towards, right? So, how does a new house fit into that? Consider location, 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 but with a retirement lens. Proximity to family and friends is often high on the list. If you're moving to be closer to grandkids, that's wonderful. But also think about your own social network. Will you be able to build new connections in a new place? Are there community centers, clubs, or activities that appeal to you? Social interaction is incredibly important for well-being at any age, but especially in retirement. Loneliness can be a real issue, and a new home in an isolated spot, however beautiful, might not be the best choice if it cuts you off from people. And what about healthcare? This is a biggie. As we age, access to good medical care becomes increasingly vital. Before you fall in love with that charming rural cottage, research the local hospitals, doctors, and specialists. How far away are they? Is the quality of care what you need and expect? An emergency situation is not the time to discover that the nearest decent hospital is an hour's drive away. Then there's the house itself. Think about aging in place. That's a term we hear a lot, and it's about designing or choosing a home that can accommodate your needs as you get older. A two-story house with a beautiful master suite upstairs might seem fine now, but what about in 10 or 15 years? Will stairs become a challenge? Are the doorways wide enough for a walker or wheelchair, should you ever need one? Is the bathroom easily adaptable with grab bars or a walk-in shower? These aren't fun things to think about, I know, but a little foresight can save a lot of heartache and expense down the road. Moving is stressful and costly at any age. Having to move again in later retirement because your home is no longer suitable is something most people would want to avoid. Consider the maintenance we talked about earlier, not just from a financial perspective, but from a physical one. Are you looking forward to spending your weekends doing yard work, cleaning gutters, and handling home repairs? For some, that's a joy, a way to stay active. For others, it becomes a burden. Be honest with yourself about how much home maintenance you're willing and able to take on. A large yard might be beautiful, but it also means a lot of mowing, weeding, and raking. A fixer-upper might seem like a fun project, but do you have the energy, skills, and resources to see it through without it becoming a source of frustration? Sometimes, a smaller, lower-maintenance home, or even a condo or townhome where exterior maintenance is handled by an association, can be a much smarter choice, freeing up your time and energy for the things you truly love to do. Think about the rhythm of your days. Do you want to be in a bustling area with lots to do, or do you crave peace and quiet? Does the thought of a homeowners association with its rules and fees appeal to you for the convenience, or does it feel restrictive? There's no right or wrong answer, but these are crucial aspects of how you'll live in your new home, day in and day out. And let's not forget the emotional side of this. Moving is one of life's major stressors, right up there with divorce or the loss of a loved one. Even if it's a move you're excited about, it's still a huge upheaval. There's the decluttering and packing, a monumental task if you've lived in one place for a long time. There's the sadness of leaving a home filled with memories, even if you're looking forward to making new ones. There's the stress of selling your current home, finding the new one, and coordinating all the logistics. Are you prepared for that emotional and physical toll, especially at a time when you're supposed to be relaxing and enjoying life more? Sometimes, the idea of a new retirement home is more appealing than the reality. We can get caught up in a romanticized vision. It's important to try and separate the fantasy from the practicalities. What are you truly seeking with this move? Is it something a new house can actually provide, or are there other ways to achieve those goals? For example, if you're feeling a bit bored or isolated in your current home, will moving solve that, or are there ways to enrich your life right where you are, perhaps by joining new groups, volunteering, or taking up new hobbies? Now, this isn't to say that buying a house in retirement is always a bad idea. Absolutely not. For many, it's a fantastic decision that leads to years of happiness and fulfillment. The key is doing it for the right reasons and with a full understanding of the implications. So, what are some of the know this points that can help you make a wise decision? First, really dig deep into your motivations. Why do you want to move? Write it down. Talk it over with your spouse or partner, if you have one. Talk to trusted friends or family. Sometimes, just articulating your reasons can bring clarity. Are you running away from something, like high property taxes in your current location, or bad weather, or are you moving towards something, like a specific lifestyle, or being near family? Understanding the why is fundamental. Second, do your homework, and then do some more. If you're considering a new area, don't just visit on a sunny weekend. Try to spend an extended period there, if possible. Rent for a few months, or even a year. Experience it in different seasons. What's it like in the dead of winter, or the height of summer? What's the traffic like? How friendly are the locals? What are the real, day-to-day costs of living there? This kind of try before you buy approach can be invaluable and save you from a very costly mistake. You might discover that the place you idealized on vacation isn't actually where you want to live full-time. Or, you might fall even more in love with it, but with a much clearer picture of what you're getting into. Third, get professional advice, but make sure it's the right professional advice. Talk to a financial advisor who truly understands retirement planning, not just someone trying to sell you a product. They can help you analyze the financial impact of a home purchase on your long-term security. They can run scenarios, help you stress test your budget against potential unexpected costs. This isn't about them telling you yes or no, but about them providing you with the data and insights to make an informed decision yourself. When it comes to real estate agents, look for someone who has experience working with retirees. They'll be more attuned to your specific needs and concerns, things like accessibility, proximity to amenities, and the desire for a low-maintenance lifestyle. They should be patient and willing to listen, not just push for a quick sale. Fourth, think about alternatives to buying. Is renovating your current home an option to make it more suitable for aging in place? Could you downsize to a smaller, more manageable rental in an area you love, freeing up the capital from your current home and avoiding the responsibilities of ownership? Renting in retirement is becoming increasingly popular, offering flexibility and freedom from maintenance worries. There are also various types of retirement communities, from active adult villages to continuing care facilities, that might offer the lifestyle and support you're looking for. Don't assume buying is the only, or best, path. Explore all the avenues. Fifth, have a contingency plan. Life is full of surprises, not all of them pleasant. What if your health changes unexpectedly? What if your spouse's health changes? What if one of you passes away? How will the home then suit the surviving partner, both financially and practically? Having a home that's manageable for one person, both in terms of cost and upkeep, is a really important consideration. Thinking about these what-ifs isn't morbid, it's responsible planning. Let's also touch upon the idea of downsizing, because that's often a big driver for moving in retirement. The kids are gone, the big house feels empty, and the upkeep is a lot. Downsizing can be a fantastic way to free up equity, reduce expenses, and simplify your life. But even downsizing comes with its own set of challenges. It can be emotionally difficult to part with belongings you've accumulated over a lifetime. Finding a smaller place that still feels like home and meets your needs can take time and effort. And if you're moving to a very popular retirement destination, you might find that the smaller home you desire isn't actually much cheaper than the larger home you're selling in a less sought-after area. So, again, research is key. Don't assume downsizing will automatically result in a huge financial windfall or a drastically simpler life without looking closely at the specifics. Consider the timing, too. Is it better to make a move early in retirement, when you have more energy to handle the transition and more time to enjoy the new home? Or is it better to wait a bit, settle into retirement, and see how your needs and desires evolve? There's no single answer here, as it depends so much on individual circumstances. But it's worth thinking about. Making a major move when you're, say, 65 and in good health is very different from doing it at 75 or 80, when energy levels might be lower and health concerns more prominent. Another angle to consider is the potential impact on your estate and your heirs. Is the new home an asset you want to pass on? Or could tying up a significant portion of your wealth in real estate complicate things for your beneficiaries? Again, this is something a good financial advisor or an estate planning attorney can help you think through. I want to re-emphasize the importance of not letting emotion completely override logic. It's easy to fall in love with a house, the charming front porch, the updated kitchen, the beautiful view. But try to step back and look at it critically. Does it really meet your long-term needs? Are there any red flags you're overlooking because you're smitten? It can be helpful to make a checklist of your absolute must-haves and your nice-to-haves before you start looking, and then stick to it as much as possible. This can help you stay grounded when you're faced with a particularly appealing property that might not tick all the essential boxes. Think about the community aspect again. A home is more than just four walls and a roof. It's about the neighborhood, the people, the sense of belonging. When you're retired, your social connections can become even more important, as work often provides a built-in social structure. When you're evaluating a potential new home, look beyond the property lines. Walk around the neighborhood at different times of day. Are people out and about? Does it feel safe and welcoming? Are there opportunities to connect with others who share your interests? Sometimes, the perfect house in the wrong neighborhood can lead to a less-than-perfect retirement. And what if you're part of a couple? It's absolutely crucial that both partners are on board and equally enthusiastic, or at least equally comfortable, with the decision. If one person is eager to move and the other is hesitant, that's a recipe for future resentment. This needs to be a shared dream, a joint venture. Have those honest, sometimes difficult, conversations. What does each of you envision for your retirement years? How does a new home fit into those individual and shared visions? Compromise might be necessary, but it should be a compromise that both of you can live with happily. Let's circle back to the financial liquidity aspect for a moment, because it's so fundamental. When your money is tied up in a house, it's not readily available for other things. What if a fantastic travel opportunity comes up? What if a grandchild needs help with college tuition? What if you or your spouse require unexpected long-term care, which can be incredibly expensive? Having a portion of your assets in more liquid forms, cash, stocks, bonds, provides flexibility and security. Over-investing in real estate in retirement can leave you feeling constrained, unable to respond to life's curveballs or opportunities. It's about balance. A comfortable, appropriate home is important, but so is financial freedom. Remember, the goal of retirement is to enjoy a life with less stress, more freedom, and the ability to pursue your passions. Your housing choice should support that goal, not undermine it. If the thought of managing a new mortgage, or the worry about unexpected repair bills, is going to keep you up at night, then perhaps buying isn't the right move, or at least not that particular house or at that particular price point. Peace of mind is a valuable commodity in retirement, perhaps the most valuable. This isn't about being fearful, it's about being thoughtful. It's about approaching this major life decision with the same diligence and care you used to build your career and save for retirement in the first place. You've worked hard to get here. You deserve a retirement that's as fulfilling and worry-free as possible. So, before you sign on that dotted line, before you start packing those boxes, take a deep breath. Ask yourself the tough questions. Do the research. Seek advice. Consider all your options. And be brutally honest with yourself about what you truly want and what you can comfortably manage, both financially and physically, for the long haul. Perhaps after all this consideration, you decide that yes, buying that house is absolutely the right move for you. You've crunched the numbers, or had someone help you do it conceptually, you've assessed the lifestyle fit, you've thought about future needs, and it all lines up. Wonderful. Go for it, and enjoy your new home to the fullest. But perhaps, after this reflection, you realize that maybe staying put and making some modifications is a better option. Or maybe renting in that dream location offers the perks without the long-term commitment and financial burden. Or maybe a different kind of housing, like a retirement community, is a better fit. That's a victory too, because you've made an informed choice that aligns with your true needs and desires, rather than getting swept away by a potentially problematic dream. Don't buy a house in retirement until you know this, is really about knowing yourself, your financial realities, your lifestyle preferences, your future needs, and your emotional well-being. It's about understanding the full scope of what homeownership in retirement entails, beyond the pretty pictures in the real estate listings. Your retirement should be a time of joy, exploration, and relaxation. Your home should be a sanctuary, a source of comfort, not a source of stress or a drain on your precious resources. So, arm yourself with knowledge, reflect deeply, and then make the decision that will truly allow you to thrive in this next wonderful chapter of your life. Think of it this way, you're not just buying a house, you're shaping your retirement experience. Make sure that shape is one that brings you contentment and security for all the years to come. Do your due diligence, listen to your head as well as your heart, and you'll be well on your way to making a choice you can celebrate. What's the next step then? If you're seriously considering this, start the conversation. Talk to your spouse. Talk to a trusted financial advisor who gets retirement. Maybe even do some window shopping online, but with these considerations fresh in your mind. And hey, if you found this chat helpful, maybe share it with a friend who's also pondering their retirement housing options. The more informed we all are, the better decisions we can make. Here's to a happy, healthy, and well-housed retirement, whatever that looks like for you.